Collective. I hope everyone is doing well. Happy Monday. Speaking of Monday, I would give you a little bit of a vibrational sound coming from my singing bowl to jumpstart this week, being that we are on the start of another new week. Monday, I hope everyone's Monday has been going well so far. Welcome back to this channel, Beautiful Intuitive Guided Tarot. I am starting off this video with just saying that this video, I feel, will be something very special from my other videos, because a few things happened prior to me uploading this video, or I should say doing this video. First and foremost, as usual, I always prepare your actual reading. We're pulling out your Bullseye card, which would be the main influencer or the overall theme of your reading going forward. And in doing so, the card that was chosen, actually I didn't choose it. The card flipped out, and it flipped out twice. So in other words, as I was preparing, shuffling the deck, the card, before I could actually get a good shuffle in, I wanted to go back in. So I put the card back into the deck to really give the deck a good shuffle. After I shuffled and was ready to pull a card, it flipped out again, which means to me that the message has to be heard and that it's going to be for someone. It may be just be for one of you. It may be for you. Don't know. But even if it resonates with just a few, it's going to resonate with someone. So it called attention to me having to talk upon this. And the card I'm talking about is the card of loneliness. Okay, so this is the card that came out, loneliness. And it says, I know that I am never alone. Although some of you might feel even alone, but know that being lonely and being alone, it's two different things. And as we go into the reading, we're going to explain that in detail. So the reason I feel that this reading is going to be special for someone is because, as I said, prior to uploading this video, or I keep saying uploading, prior to filming this video, before I actually started, my husband and I had a discussion. He came in and he was sharing something with me. But then after that, we started talking about something, and lo and behold, the subject of what it is that I'm talking about today for the collective, we talked about that, about being alone and lonely. So to me, that was like another confirmation, a double confirmation that this subject, this overall message, has to be for someone today, because my husband and I was talking about the same thing, and I told him, I said, wow, that's kind of scary in a sense, a good scary, because it just shows that the spirit guides and my intuition led me to talk about this. I didn't ignore it, but I let it come out because it was something that had to be discussed. And so, as I said, being that we talked about it, I felt like, okay, this is the message and there's something in it that somebody needs to hear. So that's why I feel that it's going to be a special one. And so in moving ahead, everyone, now before I do actually move ahead, there's two things I need to do. One of which, before we start, let me clear our energy field at this time. Let's do some saging so that we can cleanse anything that doesn't serve us at this time, so that the message here for today will be of love, light, and coming from a warm-hearted intention, so that whoever this message does resonate with, it is something for your highest good, and it's something that my spirit team has guided me to do. So on that level, it will be something special and significant. It's not going to resonate with all of you, And so with that being said, Spirit of the highest white light, please clear this energy field between me and my followers at this time. May the messages here be of love, light. Thank you so much, and so it is. All right, so as I was saying, now that I cleared our energy space at this time, the messages or this reading is not going to resonate with all of you, okay? As most readings, it's not going to resonate with everyone. But this one today, I feel there's a spiritual type of energy that is going on here with whoever this may be. And you would know who you are if this does touch you in some kind of way, if this reading talks to you in a way that you have been feeling, all right? So, the cards that was drawn from your tarot reading, now remember, the loneliness card, which comes from your soul's journey deck that I pulled from, is your bullseye overall theme. It's your bullseye card. So this is going to influence how the rest of your reading and the messages that come out pertains to this card here. So in going forward with your tarot spread, your dominant card, which starts off your tarot reading, what came out was the Five of Swords. Okay? So the Five of Swords has to do with conflict. And it doesn't always have to be conflict with other people. Sometimes conflict can arise within ourselves. All right? So we're going to get into that. I just want to read off the other cards that came out. And so after that, you got the Ten of Pentacles. Behind that, in the third position, is your Five of Swords, which also kind of relates to the Five of Wands. They're kind of similar in terms of the energy and the movement and the action that is going on in terms of a battle, a conflict, okay? And on your second bottom row, we have the Six of Swords. Next to that is the Justice card that came out. And then it ends out with, being in the sixth position, it ends out with the Nine of Wands, which to me is a very good outcome of all those other energies that have come out for you. And like I said, we're going to get into it, all right? I'm actually, at times, I kind of go out of sequence because I go with the flow of what I'm sensing and feeling. But this time, I think this reading, I will stay on sequence because it kind of makes sense. And so the Five of Wands, which again is your first dominant card kicking off your tarot reading, it's about conflict. So for the person that I'm speaking to, or for the few of you that I'm speaking to, there's a conflict that you're having at this time about feeling lonely, okay? Actually, before we get into it, which I always do, I always go into the book and read the meaning behind what this overall message is. And so that's what we're going to do actually, because I think when I read it, it will kind of make sense, but it will kind of draw upon and go in deeper in terms of this emotional energy, this feeling that someone out there might be experiencing at this time. All right, so let us go to the book before we get into the tarot. So, loneliness. It says, I know that I'm never alone, which is true. This card has come out because you must be reminded that there is a difference between being lonely and being alone. Feelings of loneliness originate from a sense of not appreciating the most important person in your life, you. If solitude seems like an affliction, you need to work on creating a healthy relationship with yourself. Only then will you attract others who will nurture your soul. If you don't develop a healthy relationship with yourself first, you will only draw unhealthy relationships to you. To create a healthy, positive relationship with yourself, you must begin to feel worthy of love. The pessimism of this physical dimension can affect your self-esteem if you don't have the strong conviction that you are valuable and meaningful. Don't view solitude as a weakness. It is merely your soul telling you that it is time to do some inner work and reevaluate your path before you start to shine. As you sit in the silence of your soul, you will realize that your spirit, family, teachers, and guides are with you. You are never alone. All right? So that is very straightforward. And so if someone out there is feeling this at this time, or have been in the past couple of weeks, just know that being lonely, because you're never alone, and I'm going to talk about that momentarily, being lonely is just a temporary, spur-of-the-moment type of energy, okay? You might be at home by yourself. Well, I'm feeling lonely because you seek company, okay? In some aspects, you seek company when you're lonely, you know. Maybe you've done all that you needed to do, you know, I've done this, but I'm feeling, you know, kind of lonely at this time. You are craving for some type of companionship or some type of company, all right? But that still don't translate to being alone, because again, like it says, being lonely and being alone is two different energies, two different feelings, okay? And hopefully I will be able to break down and clarify this energy of loneliness, because like I said, I feel one of you or just a few of you might be feeling like this or have been. So remember again, the most important thing is why this card appeared is it's calling attention and reminding someone that, again, it's this sense of energy is coming about because you are not appreciating the person that should be appreciated, and that comes from within. That is you yourself. Oftentimes, and it's nothing to be ashamed of because it happens to the best of us. You know what I mean? Where we don't appreciate ourselves as we should. We may not feel that we're worthy. Some may feel that I'm not even worthy to be in love or to have someone to love me because of that shadow, lower vibrational attitude. And when you have that attitude, it's going to affect your environment. It's going to affect also the things that you are blocking that you want to come into your life. So if in fact you are looking for love, you're feeling lonely, you know, in terms of, you know, I'm ready, I'm single, and I'm ready to be in love, to have someone to, you know, come home to. I don't want to have to come home to the four walls. I want someone that will be able to, you know, share my company. We share each other's company. If that's one aspect of you feeling lonely. There are different variations of one feeling lonely in different times of your life. But I was saying that never look at that as something to be ashamed of, but more importantly, never look at that as something that is negative, because it's not. Loving oneself is the start, it's the foundation for everything else. It lays the groundwork for other people to come into your life, all right? So once you have a relationship with yourself, which is the most important relationship with yourself, that is going to be the pivotal breakthrough you need to bring in other things. Because if you don't love yourself, if you think unworthy of yourself, then what makes you think that the person that comes towards you is going to have anything higher than you? They will see that you are not feeling worthy of yourself, and that you are needing of love and everything else that goes with company, everything else that goes with interacting with people. They will see you in this low vibratory energy, and so they're like, I'm not going to transmute or let that energy be transmuted into my energy, you know. So the message is that anything else, above all, you need to start loving yourself and to begin to appreciate who you are. This is where the feeling of loneliness will come into play. So when you think it is something negative, or you think that it's something that to be ashamed of, it's really not. Use that energy and change it to your advantage. And what I mean by that is, when you are lonely, it's an energy of, to me, it translates or equals silence. We all need silence. We live in a world where there's a lot of things going on. It's a noisy world. It's a world that's chaotic. It's a world that vibes on low vibrational frequencies, but negativity as well. So sometimes it does help to have that moment of alone time, to be able to focus, reevaluate, and to kind of review yourself, kind of know yourself, find yourself. You know what I mean? Kind of go into a journey of journeying within oneself, to see what you're about, to see what it is you really want out of life. Use that time to ask yourself some soul-searching questions. Use that time in any way, in any way that you can, to make yourself feel more fulfillment, because we don't need to have validation or someone else's input about how our life should go. Okay? So try to use that alone time that you feel lonely to kind of do some self inner workings, if that makes sense. All right? And this is exactly what the message, again, what it pointed out when I read it. It says, so basically it speaks about solitude. And that's what that energy stems from. Creating a place of solitude that will have you to kind of reflect upon yourself. I'm trying to find that portion, that part where it speaks about using it to your advantage. So this is, okay, I'm sorry. I wanted to find that. I wanted to reiterate this part. It says, don't view solitude as a weakness or nothing to be ashamed about either. It is merely your soul telling you that it is time to do some inner work and reevaluate your path before you start to shine. And I think it's so significant because the message kind of brings it home in terms of what I was saying, is that use that alone time that you feel lonely to do some self inner work for yourself. And by doing that, you will see how you will attract and create other things in a positive way to come towards you. Because this feeling lonely, it's keeping you in a very kind of depressed vibration, but it's not doing anything of positiveness. Everything around, as I usually mention from time to time on this channel, everything around us is energy. Everything vibes off of energy. There's positive energy and there's negative energy. And if your mind is not positive, if you're thinking low, you're thinking pessimistic, if you're feeling and you're using that loneliness energy to think pessimistic thoughts, then you are blocking the things that you really don't want to block. Everybody needs to know that life is not about just what you have limited your mind to. In other words, don't limit your mind, your thoughts, your feelings, and what it is that you do and how you do it for yourself to just be limited. This is a big world. There's so much things that can be learned, so many things that we can teach ourselves. There are so many things that we can explore. And it doesn't have to always require people around us. Sometimes the best moments in our lives is those that we have with ourselves, because it really, really connects us to things that we don't get a chance to when we are out around people or around crowds, around chaos, around noise, right? So for me, I love being alone. And I don't feel lonely at no time, because there's so much that I'm doing that I don't have a chance to feel lonely. I kind of use those moments that I am alone and do things that is constructive, that's going to help make me become a better version of myself. And we all strive to, each and every day, we should always strive to become closer to becoming a better version of ourselves. And we can't do that if we have other people around us. This is an energy of creating that solitude, if you will, a hermit mode, if you will, meditating, to kind of, like I said, go into oneself and understand that loving yourself and having self-love is very important. I have another channel, which is my meditation channel. And on that channel, I always speak about self-love and taking the time to disconnect from the outside world and to create a happy space, but a quiet moment. It's just you and that silent moment. And there is where you can connect and tap into so many things that you can't believe. But you wouldn't know it because your mind is limited. You're feeling and being trapped into this energy of loneliness is what is keeping you to experience the other things that you can explore while you are in this energy, right? So I wanted to just say that. I didn't mean to kind of go too much into it, but I'm feeling motivated to just speak what's on my mind, but at the same time I'm being guided to say what I need to say, because it's going to help somebody. So now going back to your tarot cards, like I said, some of you are in this energy of fire, this Five of Wands energy. Some of you are in this energy at this time, kind of having conflict with yourself. Maybe, like I said, you are doubting yourself about something that you want, you know, or maybe you are blocking your own you are blocking the things that you want to have, all because of being lonely. You know, kind of like get out the funk of it and just know that you create, you have the control and the ability to create your own path, also of how you feel. We all have that ability to create something positive in our lives. Never limit yourself to just the positive and the negatives. We are in a world that's what it seems to be about. And so it's almost like a conditioning of the mind. So what you have to do is change it around, recondition, so to speak, undo that conditioning of being in that pessimistic, low energy of feeling alone, or that is something that, you know, is dreadful. No, use that energy to do something that will be constructive, that's going to help you toward your better good in the long run. All right? The Ten of Pentacles came out as your second position. To me, the Ten of Pentacles is about, because this is a different reading, but in other readings, when the Ten of Pentacles comes out, it's about success. It's about having a whole lot of fulfillments in one's life, attaining and getting all that you worked for, maybe you dreamed about. You completed all that you wished for in your life, and it's a sense of feeling accomplished. But in this scenario, to me, the Ten of Pentacles takes on a different type of meaning. And so to me, it's showing that there's so much that you have to tap into. There's so many things that you have that you can make your life feel more creative, more fun, more, you know, the Ten of Pentacles is just giving you so many options, so to speak. It's just giving you a better light to let you know, listen, get out of that funk, come out of that low vibratory frequency, and know that there are other things to do when you're alone and feeling lonely. You know, go shopping. That's something that us women, we love to do. If this is a masculine energy that you are feeling this way, you know, go and, you know, visit your friends. Do something that maybe you have started before and you didn't quite finish. You know, it just shows me that this is so many things that you can do, but you are blocking yourself because you feel limited. You feel that, you know, life is just the mundane, and it's not. You know, you create how you want and what it is that you want in your life. So again, the Ten of Pentacles is showing me that there's so much more than what your mind have illusioned you to think. You know what I mean? So focus on you. When you focus on yourself and you realize that I am important, I am worthy. If it's love that you're looking for, I'm worthy for love. Never put yourself down. Never sell yourself short. Never feel that life is something that you have to particularly wait to happen. No, take charge of your own life. You know, take charge of your life. If this is a Taurus that I'm speaking to, Taurus, as myself, I'm a Taurus. If you're a Taurus, because the Ten of Pentacles or the Pentacles is those of Earth sign, which would be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So if it's a Taurus that I'm speaking to at this time, use that bull energy to take charge. You know how bulls, they take charge? Take charge of your life. We all have the control to take charge of our own life. We don't never want to leave our life in control of someone else or for someone else to take charge of our own lives. We set the course. We set and change the narrative of how we want our life to be. Okay? So again, if you are Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, use that energy of the bull to take charge of your life, to go and explore new things, travel, you know, do whatever makes you happy, okay? And utilize, take advantage of that alone time and to know more about yourself and how you can, in knowing yourself, how then you can create other people to see your worth while you are seeing your own worth. In the third position on the top row, you have the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords, to me, is almost reminiscent of the energy from the Five of Wands. Meaning, again, that, you know, you might be coming in and out, going in and out in terms of the way you're feeling. And it's like, you know, I want to get out of this energy. I want to get out of this funk, but there goes that limited feeling of you feeling repressed, feeling depressed. Only you can make yourself feel that way. Only you can make yourself feel that way. Let me just hydrate. Stop fighting the power that you have within yourself, because you have the power to change how you feel. We all do. But we have to go within ourselves, because it starts from within. And sometimes it does require us to take that solitude to find the strength. When you find the strength in solitude, you have your spirit team waiting for you to surrender to them, to help you. They will aid you. Your spirit team, your spirit guides, your angels. God, whoever your belief system is, they are there. You might not see them. This is the part where you are not alone. You're not alone because you have, as I said, your spiritual team there working with you. All they need you to do is to acknowledge them. When you're feeling low, when you're feeling low-spirited, when you're feeling that there's no one around you physically to kind of give you that company and that, support, you have God there. You have your angels there. Your angels are there. Everyone have angels. We all have angels that are there with us to protect us, but to guide us. Go to them. Pray in that solitude, in that moment of alone time, and go to them. Help them to help you to see that there's more to life than just the feeling that you are feeling. Ask them, give me that energy, that positive energy. Ask them to help give you that take charge type of energy to get out and to know that you don't need other people to define who you are. You don't need other people around you all the time to make it seem that life is about including other people. Yeah, it's good, but it's not something that you need to rely on constantly. And this is what I'm trying to say in terms of the Ten of Pentacles, to know that you don't need everybody or need a whole lot of people to know that that's the only way you can enjoy life. You can enjoy life by yourself as well. There are so many advantages to having that quiet time. You know what I mean? This may not make sense to you, but again, be open-minded. Come out of that limited mindset. Be open-minded and really understand the message that is coming here for you at this time. Okay? At the bottom, in the fourth position, you have the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is like turning your back. Okay? This person here is sitting down, and you have another image here of this person kind of moving along. But to me, this speaks about turning your back on yourself for one, but perhaps turning yourself on opening up to love. Okay? If you don't feel worthy to have love, then guess what? You won't attract that to you. So stop feeling pessimistic, stop thinking pessimistic, and turn that pessimistic energy into a positive, optimistic energy to know that if something is meant for you, it will come to you. Okay? But Spirit says in the meantime, work on you and prove yourself so that when that opportunity of love, when that opportunity of anything that you are feeling low about comes to you, you will be 10 times ready to, with open arms, to receive it. Why? Because now you realize, I deserve it. I'm worthy to receive this love, to receive the blessings, or whatever it is that you've been wanting. It's in you because you created it. And so what you create, you want to bring it to your reality. You want to be able to see it, right? So change that, shift that energy of low pessimism into something positive. Okay? Positive will always give you positive outcomes, positive results. But the opposite, negative, it's going to do the opposite. It's just going to give you negative results, negative feelings, negative emotions. You know, and sometimes those feelings can be so intense, you don't know how to come out of it because you have relied on it so much, like nothing else is, possible at this time because you are too much stuck in. The world creates negativity. And when it comes to news, nothing really good comes on the news, right? But if you're one that constantly feed upon the news all the time, then somehow it seems to affect you, right? And you know, media, they tend to want to desensitize the minds of people to something that will take you from being in control of your life. They want to control your thoughts and the energy within you. And if you allow it, that's exactly what's going to happen. You will feel lonely. In your own mind's eye, you will feel lonely. And then once it starts there, it will affect the rest of your environment and your space. Never let nobody take control over you to make you feel anything other than what you have created for yourself. All right? Moving on to your fourth position of your reading, the card you have is Justice. Do yourself justice and do what's best for you. Okay? Give yourself that good karmic justice. Do good to yourself. Treat yourself with care, love, and light. All right? You owe it to yourself. Okay? Be this energy of knowing that I stand in my power. I stand in my own power. I tap into my divinity. And there is where I understand who I am, what I am, and that I am worthy. You know, you are worthy. I can be whatever I want to be, but I have control of the path in which I want to walk upon. I don't need other people to tell me that. It starts from within. Once you activate that energy of knowing that you have the power and to take charge of your life in the positive way, you know, then and only then you will realize, well, you know something? I have moved on to know that being alone or, you know, having that alone time is actually something that now I'm embracing. Embrace the energy of being, you know, by yourself. Because there's a lot to be learned. You know, maybe tap into your spiritual path. Because the overall energy from the bottom of the deck, of the tarot deck, is the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is a spiritual energy. So maybe some of you might go to church, or if you haven't, maybe this is the time to think about your spirituality. And sometimes spirituality doesn't mean having to go to church or go to, you know, a physical building. Because spirituality, for me, starts from within. Okay? Spirituality starts from within. And that is where you will seek the true divine within yourself. Now, for those of you that go, you know, to church and you go to temples, by no means is that a slight on it, because like I said, everybody, again, do what they feel is best for yourself when it comes to your spiritual growth, your spiritual enlightenment. Wherever you go and however you receive your spiritual guidance, it's all good. But at the same time, for those of you that may not go, or you feel that, you know, because I don't go to church, then I must not look right in the eyes of God, or God is looking down on me because I haven't. No, spirituality starts from within. We all have divinity. Tap into your own divine power. This is where, again, I will mention about going to that solitude, going into that hermit mode. There is where you will connect to your highest source. There's where you will meet your angels and God, whoever your belief system is, and your spirit guides. They are all there waiting for you. When you are there in that moment, that is where you will connect with them and be able to understand the path even. What is my destiny? When and how do I embark on my own spiritual journey? And that's where you would seek the answers. All right? Closing out your tarot reading is the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands to me is a very good energy. Why? Because remember, you started out with the Five of Wands. So you took 4 leaps ahead. That means you came out of this loneliness energy of thinking about your limited way of viewing people. You took 4 steps ahead, 4 leaps ahead from the Five of Wands, and you went to the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is standing in your own power. Now the Wands is the element of fire. So some of you that are of fire sign, which would be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, I could be speaking to someone relating to that sign as well. Earlier I mentioned earth signs, but as well fire signs. So if you're of Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, this message may also resonate with you as well. All right. But the Nine of Wands is, you see the energy here, that means you fought through your own battle. Remember, the Five of Wands is fighting battles, but battles not with people, it's with yourself. So it showed me, or showing me, that you guys will come out of that. Maybe this message, somehow, when you're done looking at this video, you will go into that quiet moment and you will say to yourself, wow, yes, it's time for me to come out of this feeling of pessimism and to fight the battle that I have within myself, coming out of that energy. And when you do, you're going to be standing in your own power, just like this energy here. And this could be masculine energy or feminine energy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't, regardless of gender. Okay? You're going to stand in your power, and you're going to realize that I have the ability to change my mindset, and to understand that I don't need or require people around me all the time. You know, being alone is a positive thing. Utilize that energy that you succeeded to, okay? You did the work, you put in the work, you put in the inner knowing of yourself to move to this position, to move to this energy of coming out of that low type of vibratory energy to rise. To me, this is like a rise. You're rising to the power that you are, okay? So again, fire sign is about an energy of movement, progression. So that's what I said. You went from the Five of Wands to the Nine of Wands, so you progressed in your mind. You progressed with your thinking to know that being lonely is not a bad thing. It's not a negative energy. It's something that will work to your advantage. All right, guys, this is the ending of your tarot reading. In terms of that message, I am drawn upon, though, to give you some more cards coming from 2 decks that I'm going to use to close out. And as we wind down the reading, I'm going to go into the Angel Guide deck to see what your angel guides have to say on this matter. Let's see what encouraging further messages that your angel guides want to impart to you at this time. Okay, Spirit of the highest and brightest white light, please give me a card that would draw upon the collective's energies at this time. What message do you wish them to know at this time? So you have honesty and communication. So yes, honesty and communication. Be honest with yourself. Communicate with oneself. That might sound crazy, but I do it and it helps. Communicate. Be honest. When you go into that quiet mode, go into that mode and be honest with how you're feeling. The angels already know, but they want you to communicate with them, to express how you feel so that they are able to give you the help. You have to access their help. So when you do go into that mode, that quiet moment, be honest with how you're feeling so that you can get the assistance, the helpful guidance, and the messages you need to communicate with them. Okay? It doesn't require communicating with someone else, but communicating, this is a time to communicate with your higher source. And your higher source is the energy or the vibrational energy of getting the most powerful, genuine message that you need. Sometimes the company, not sometimes, anytime actually, that you communicate and have the company of your spirit team, your ancestors as well, your guides and your angels, that's the best company, because they're not going to steer you wrong. They are not going to steer you wrong. You never have to worry and be wondering if the advice and guidance that they provide you is going to be something that's going to be to your detriment. No, it's going to be to your betterment for yourself, and it's going to be something that's going to benefit you in the long run. All right, let's pull one more card. Spirit, one more final message from your spirit guides for the collective. Please guide me to a final message for the collective at this time. And romance and connection. So, for some of you, if this is a feeling, if you was feeling lonely because you wanted some type of companionship, guess what? Romance and connection. So it shows that when you come out of that feeling and you go to your spirit source to get the answers, they will create an opportunity to bring romance and connection to you. All right? And then that feeling of feeling lonely, you know, it won't be there no more. Okay? But again, the things that we want and things that we create, it will only come to our reality once we, again, change how we see things in life. Regardless of what area of your life that you need illumination or assistance in. Create that reality, okay? Create it. Don't look for it, because what is truly meant for you, what is meant to be in your life in terms of love, in terms of companionship, your spiritual source will see to it that it will come to you. But you got to believe in it, and first and foremost, you have to always, as stated early on, you have to know that you are worth the love. So if you've been kind of doubting yourself, if I'm worth having love, you're not going to have love. But know that everyone is worthy and deserves love and romance and need connections when the time is right. All right? So those were the two messages coming from your spiritual guides, and we are going to close out this reading. This will be the first time that I'm using this deck on this channel. This is the Starry Beginnings deck. This deck is a deck that will bring more positive insights to help you to be uplifted. So the messages coming from this deck is going to be very uplifting. And because I really feel that this was kind of something pertaining to one's even own spiritual growth, anytime the self, oneself, there's a need to go into oneself. There's a need to balance because something is not balanced. And this is what also the Justice card was about as well. In your tarot, you got the Justice, and it's about balance. So that means that it's something that is not balanced because you feel there's a lack of something. So, I just lost my thought. So, it'll come back to me. But anyway, I want to just pull a card from this deck because I feel that there will also be a message or two that will help you to kind of direct you in terms of your thinking and your path. If you are on a journey in seeking your spiritual path, this will kind of help guide you along the way. Okay, Spirit of the highest white light. Spirit of the highest and brightest white light, please guide me to the message that you want and this came out, so I always like to do flippers. It says, let it out, let it flow. Open up the heart to feel, okay? I'm going to read it, and we'll pull one more for you guys, and then we will wrap up this reading. So, it says, let's see what message. And this is the energy coming from the stars, coming from the cosmos, okay? So let's see how this energy will affect you in the week ahead. It says, emotions are energy and motion. However, the energy tends to get stuck in our bodies. It is held onto, buried because it is uncomfortable to feel. Discomfort is what we are trying to avoid. And it kind of makes sense, right? Burying emotions simply causes them to build up, and then they get covered over with poor lifestyle choices. Like trying to hide a dirty secret, it leaves you feeling unhappy, unloved, for love is truth, and truth is love. When we are truthful about all things, including how we feel, it opens up the heart to feel all things, and this is freeing. You no longer have to live a lie of feeling unworthy. Trying to change who you are to avoid these buried emotions. When it goes on so long, we forget who we truly are, and that's what I had mentioned earlier on. When you are stuck in that pessimistic, low type of energy, you forget that there's something positive, or you forget that there's something else above that energy that goes on. It says, we forget who we truly are, loving, blessing beings that deserve all the wonderful things life has to offer. This has been going on so long. Emotional suppression for generations. People have been burying their truth. This leads to unproductive, unhelpful, and unpleasant behaviors. Abuse in all kinds comes from suppressed emotions. The abused becomes the abuser, and the pattern keeps going. Unless we wake up and see it for what it is, energy trapped, buried, masked, covered over. And the additional final message says, let it out, let it flow, feel it, trust in you. The love you feel, the love you receive is unlimited, inexhaustible. Wow, this really sums up the energy and the messages that you have gotten here from your tarot. Is basically being in that energy of loneliness is an energy that is wasted, right? But as it says, the love you receive is unlimited, because right now you might be feeling limited in the way you feel, limited in your thoughts. Well, reverse that so that your world and your view of how you see things is unlimited. All right? So you see, this is the message coming in from the celestial cosmos at this time, letting you know that open up your heart to feel, be truthful, know your worth. Let's get one more final cards, please. Message, Spirit. One more final message. What energies from the stars, cosmos will affect the collective in the week ahead? And see with your heart. The time is now to hear the messages. Let's go into the book and get that message, and we will close out. All right. Final message. See with your heart. The time is now to hear the messages. The time is now to hear the messages. Focus on the connection. It is strong if you keep with it. Before we begin, ground yourself to the channel. Feel the beat of the earth, the breath of her cycles. It is strong if you connect. Breathe in, breathe out. We are here. We are always here. You just need to connect. It's talking about your spirit team. all right? Your angels, your guides, your belief system of who you believe in terms of God, even your ancestors. They are all there. Your whole celestial team is waiting for you to connect with them, as I mentioned earlier. Again, we are always here, but you just need to connect. Anytime, anywhere, we want to communicate. The messages are not only for you, but also for humanity. It is a difficult time for all people. The changes in the earth are occurring in response to treatment. She is not loved like she should be. And when an entity is not loved, they contract. They feel hurt and they are not able to function as well as they should or could. The earth feels the pain of others. She tries to heal as much as she can, and that leads to extreme events, emotionally charged to release energy. Humans are at the whim of these energy surges. They won't go to forever. They will ease as people become aware, learn to see with their hearts. That is what we need for you, to learn to see with your heart. First, focus on the breath, connect to the breath. Feel the beat of the earth beneath your feet. Keep the breath in your beat with the earth, and you will feel this love energy rise up through you into your heart and to your third eye. Your third eye is your chakra. And again, your chakra, all your chakras can also be activated when you go into that quiet moment. When you meditate, it's a chance to unblock and open up and activate those chakras so that you can receive all the positive messages and the positive flow of energies coming from your celestial team. In addition, it says your heart is connected to the earth and source energy, and it will see with love. Step 1, focus on the breath throughout the day. Focus on the breath. Through all situations, through stress, anxiety, uncertainty, and worry, focus on the breath. Step 2, ground the energy through the soles of the feet. Feel it, run it to the earth to make the connection between between your field and the earth's. Step 3, pace your breath with that of the earth, in and out, in and out. And step 4, bring the energy to the third eye, send it out, and you will see with love. Through the throat, you will express that love. Guys, this couldn't be any more clearer. On that note, I'm going to leave it there, but just know, at the very end, you are never alone. You never need, per se, the physical company of people. The company that is more powerful, more special, and more endearing is the energies in the company that we have, not only with ourselves, but from our spiritual source. There is where you will truly understand and know the power and understand and appreciate that energy of being alone. Use that time wisely to connect with your spirit source. They will never fail you, and they will get you into the energy of the Nine of Wands, standing in your power. All right, guys, I didn't mean for this to be long, but at the same time, I'm not going to apologize for it because I felt the need to reach out to someone. And whoever it is, I really hope and truly hope that the message here today that was conveyed from the tarot, coming in from the cosmos, coming in from your spirit guides, all that combined, I hope that the messages will be something of encouragement that will uplift you, that will inspire you to be the powerful person that you are. Block out any negativity and bring in positive flow and positive thoughts at this time, and include and incorporate your spirit team. You will succeed. I guarantee you, you will succeed. You will not fail. All right, you are never alone. All right, everyone, I hope, like I said, if this reading did resonate with you, You know what to do. Hit that thumbs like button to let me know. Drop me a comment so I'll know who it resonated with. As well, if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel and share with your friends and family to get them on board so that they can see what their week will look like going forward. All right, everyone. So until our next reading, I'm wishing you, all of you, a very and a wonderful and a powerful week ahead. And know that even if you don't see it, there is love. There is company there. The things we don't see are sometimes the most special feelings that we have. We don't have to see things to appreciate the company or the energy that comes from the external. The internal and the things unseen is what lies ahead that is very special. Until next read, everyone, I'm wishing all of you peace, love, and light. Namaste.